Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is October and this is Nerd Boy Reads. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my June 2022 wrap up. The half book that I have to talk about is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I started it on the last day of June 30th. As of reading this, it is now July 1st, and I am about halfway through, a little more than halfway through, so I am probably going to finish it up today or tomorrow. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like all of V.E. Schwab's works, was immediately intrigued by the premise. I was grabbed by the mystery. She's really good at world building and leading us on to whatever she wants to guide us towards. There are images in this book that aid in the telling of the story, and I can't show you that because it'd be a spoiler, but I can show you these end papers, and I really like, it's like that all throughout the book, the inky littleness of it. I love the ink, the deep blacks and whatnot, the charcoal-y feel of it, and I'm really enjoying this book. I'm really enjoying Olivia as a character. I'm enjoying her interaction with the world. She is so far in this book, she hasn't spoken. She uses sign language, and I really like that representation, although I can't really say much about the representation since I speak, but I really enjoy how it's portrayed here. The fantasy elements are really good at getting woven through. I really like how it's kind of spooky in its own way. So I'll give you an update probably in my July wrap up about how I feel about this. But yeah, this is the half book. I'm almost done with this. Yeah. And now we're going to be talking about the books that I have finished this year, and the first one being The Rig by Roger Levy. I am not going to try to describe this book. I've sat here for like 20 minutes attempting to describe everything that happens in this book, but I just can't. It's wild. I will say, without spoilers, this book follows 4 different perspectives. We follow Aleph and his childhood friend Pelennoric as they grow up. We follow Razor, who is kind of like a journalist in this world. Bale, who is something of a cop, and then Talon, who is just kind of there. Talon is just kind of there. That's all I can say without spoiling anything. Without spoilers, this book is great. This book is probably one of my favorites of the year. I really enjoyed the mystery, the consequences, the twists, the turns, the characters, everything that happens in this book is phenomenal. I will say it is only like a 4.5 stars if I had to give it a star rating, which I usually don't, but it would probably be a 4.5 because it did take me about 100 pages to get into it. However, that could just be because I was focusing on something else at the time, but once I did get into it, it was a phenomenal read. Really enjoyed watching the characters interact with each other, watch them interact with the world, watch them face everything that they had to head on and or suffer the consequences of trying to leave it behind. It doesn't get really graphic, but it is it's kind of weird in some places. It's kind of disturbing. I'm not going to go into that. There aren't very many trigger warnings in this. I think existentialism, if you're prone to like existential crises on the topic of death, be wary of that going in. Cancer mentioned, there's like torture, gang wars, betrayal, all that good stuff. Be wary about it going in. But I do recommend this book. It's kind of chunky. It's about 600 or so pages, but everything that happens on the page to the characters around them is for a reason. Everything puts itself together in the end in a very compact, very neat, very satisfying way. And I would highly recommend this to anyone who's into like hard sci-fi, who's into gang wars and politics that go along with that, mystery stuff. I recommend this to a lot of people. I already have like one person who said they were going to read it, and I really hope that they enjoy it. So if you do end up picking this book up, or if you have, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you disagree and think that this is a bad book, let me know why, because I can see where it could be a bad book. I just don't agree with it. I love this book so much. It's really pretty too. Like, that's initially why I picked it up. I am such a cover buyer, and it was facing out on the shelves, and I just had to pick it up. Plus, it was only like $15, which $15 for a 600-page book is a steal, so that's why I picked it up. And I'm really glad I did, and I'm really glad that I finally took the plunge and read it. Yeah, best book I read this month, if not this year. Well, definitely not this year, but best book that I read this month. Yeah. Next is something that totally counts as a book because it has novel in the title, and that is the second Bungo Stray Dogs light novel, Dazais Dark Era, by Kafka Asagiri, with illustrations by Sango Harukawa. This follows Dazai in his Dark Era. If you watch Bungo Stray Dogs, you know what that means. This shows why he did what he did and why he ended up where he did in the beginning of this Bungo Stray Dogs canon series. So if you're interested in that, pick it up. Like I said in my mid-year freakout, this book did make me cry. Not like boo-hoo, but just like tearing up. It's got me. I don't know why. I really enjoyed the character development. I really enjoyed seeing Dazai. I really enjoyed seeing Dazai where he began and see how he differed from where he is now in the canon series. Yeah, that's where we are. The Bungo Stray Dogs canon. It was really short, but it took me about 2 or 3 days to read it simply because I was busy. I have a job. I couldn't do much else. But I'm really glad that I read this. I can't wait to read the other Bungo Stray Dog light novels. I think there are 9 in total, so I can't wait to collect them all. I think this is going to be the light novel series that gets me into light novels, because I did read one of the Death Note light novels, but that didn't catch me as much as this did. So, yeah. Bungo Stray Dogs, Dazai's Dark Era, very good light novel. It counts as a book. I read it in June. Is one that I am surprised that I haven't seen anyone else talk about, because I figured that it would be a booktube book talk favorite, and that is Gutter Mage by J.S. Kelly. This follows Rosalind Featherstone and her partner. They are private eyes in a magical world. They follow Rosalind Featherstone and her partner. They are private eyes in a magical world, and they get hired to figure out why a rich person's baby gets kidnapped, and it just goes crazy from there. This book was a lot better than I was anticipated. It's really good LGBT rep. Rosalind is bisexual, I believe, and it's a really good book. I don't know why more people don't talk about it. I really enjoy Rosalind as a character, and we learn about her past and her future. Well, not her future. Her past gets unwound very, very nicely in this. Like, it doesn't, like, it spells it out for us when it needs to, but it comes when we deserve it. Like, it's not just handed to us on a silver platter. It makes us work for it. It makes us want to know why she is how she is and what she went through. And once we do, it's like a gut punch. She's a really great character. I really enjoyed reading about her. I need more people to talk about this. I haven't seen anyone talk about it. I don't know when it came out, but I think it came out this year. No, it came out in 2021. So I don't know why a lot of people aren't talking about this. I figured the internet would have been wild about this by now, but please pick it up if you haven't. I need more people to talk about it. Really good book. I really enjoyed reading it, and I need more people too. So if you like detective stories, if you like mysteries, if you like magic mysteries, or just magic in general, like high fantasy mysteries, pick it up and give it a go. If you buy it, if you end up liking it when you pick it up, let me know in the comments. I need more people to talk about this, like I said. So, yeah, Gutter Mage by R.S. Kelly. Next is a book that I've heard about, and I think it got passed around a bit when it came out, but I haven't heard many people talking about it since, and that is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. This follows, I wish I picked up her name, Lily. The story follows Lily as she struggles being a Chinese American in the midst of the Cold War in California? Something like that. San Francisco, I think it's where it is. she is coming to the terms with the fact that she is a lesbian in the 1950s, where it's very unsafe for her, especially since she is Chinese and it comes with all the stereotypes of that. She has to deal with her family being potentially accused of being communists. She has to deal with the 1950s in general, all the racism and stuff that happens there. At first, I was thinking that there was a lot happening in this book and how it was kind of making it messy. So, my nose, yeah, it's fine. So I was kind of worried about it being messy, and I kind of almost put it down because of how much was happening in this book. You got the Cold War, you got the Red Scare, you got everything happening, trying to just be a good Chinese girl. But once it sank in that this is how people actually lived in the day, I pressed on, because if I can't just put it down because I'm uncomfortable. A lot of people were uncomfortable back in the day. And I'm not saying I'm privileged or anything. I am black and poor in the South or whatever, but I just felt like I had to push on. It was really good. I'm really glad that I did, though. I really enjoyed seeing Lily and, what is her name? Kath. Lily and Kath, their relationship bloom. I enjoyed how they supported each other. And I was really glad when she stuck up for her. Spoilers. We're talking about spoilers now. I was really glad when she stuck up to her friend. I was really sad when she came out and wasn't accepted by her family. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. It just hurt to see it actually happen. I don't understand why they put other people's perspectives in it. Like, we get a couple chapters from her mother and her aunt. I don't understand why they were there. Maybe I missed something. If you know why they put that there, explain it to me in the comments, because I don't get it. It was a really good book. It was really cute. It was a really cute little romance story. Yeah, not much else to say about it. I usually don't pick up romances, but I feel like I don't read enough sapphic literature, so I picked this one up to make up for that fact. Not all I picked it up for. I really did enjoy the book. One of the reasons is I don't read enough sapphic romance. So if you have any recommendations for it, put it in the comments. Potentially adult sapphic romance, because I am an adult now and I don't really enjoy, I don't really enjoy reading about children falling in love anymore. So if you have any good sapphic adult romances that you want to throw my way, feel free to do it. Next, because I hit a major like fixation on podcasts, I read the second script book to Welcome to Nightvale, The Great Glowing Coils of the Universe. This is the second season of Nightvale from... Sorry, I had to stop recording for a second. Like I said, the second script book to Welcome to Nightvale encapsulates everything after the episode 1 year later. Season 2 after 1 year later in the first season of Nightvale. So we start at the Faceless Old Woman, and we go to the Great Oak Doors. I think that's what it's called. Old Oak Doors. So yeah. We follow everything from the Faceless Old Woman to the Old Oak Doors, parts 1 and 2. And it also had little bonus live episodes there. We have comments from the voice actors and the writers for Welcome to Nightvale. And we have just a bunch of little illustrations that go with each episode, and I really enjoyed it. There's not much I can say about this because it is a collection of scripts from the second season of Welcome to Nightvale, but I will say I enjoyed reading it again. I really enjoy Welcome to Nightvale as a podcast, like I said, so reading this really made me want to go re-listen to it. And if I wasn't in the middle of re-listening to the Magnus archives, and if I hadn't, still haven't been caught up on Welcome to Nightvale, I totally would. My nose ring was crooked, but whatever. I totally would re-listen to some of the episodes. I think I still might, because Welcome to Nightvale is that kind of show for me. I don't get tired of it. I really enjoy it. I have a couple Nightvale tattoos planned, I think. I just really enjoy this a lot. I'm glad that I have all of the books that they've put out right now. If they ever put out another one, please let me know. Hit me up. I really enjoy Welcome to Nightvale, and I'm glad I got this. I'm glad I read it. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's so sweet. I love this show. I love this book. I love the scripts. I love that I have them. Yes, very good. Glad I read it. Last book that I read, continuing on with the podcast theme that I got going on, is Alice Isn't Dead by Joseph Fink. He is one of the co-writers of Welcome to Nightvale, but he has, I think this is a side project he does with someone. I can't remember, but it's a really good book. This is about, what's her name? Keisha. She is a trucker who became a trucker after seeing her dead wife on a news channel. Watch her travel the country making deliveries and solving problems, and she picks up a homeless child. It's really good. It's so good. My favorite characters in here are the oracles, and I will not go into details. Really enjoyed that this is, like I said, about the Last Night at the Telegraph Club. This is an adult sapphic book. It's not romance heavy, but it is there. Like, they're fully married. They're grown adults in a committed relationship, and that's what I like to see. I like falling in love stuff, but it's good to see grown adults in a committed, happy relationship. Long story short, this is a really good book. It took a turn that I wasn't expecting. I haven't listened to the Alice Isn't Dead podcast. I think it's over now, so that may be an initiative for me to finally listen to it. I enjoyed the road trip elements of it. It's very good to read for summer because of that. Like, road trips are typically taken in summer, so this really filled the summer checklist I'm not making for myself in my head, but if I was, this would definitely be on it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the growth. I enjoyed how Keisha is anxious and has diagnosed anxiety, but it doesn't go away just because she goes on this journey. In fact, spoilers, there are many times in this book where her anxiety empowers her and makes her do things that she normally wouldn't do, and it keeps her safe. I enjoy how Alice, spoilers, major spoilers, I enjoy how Alice has her own anxiety when we get to her points of view, and how they also empower her to take care of others, and it's just really good. Spoilers over. Spoilers over. I'm really glad I managed to squeeze this in. I plowed through like 200 pages of this book last night? No, the night before last, right before the cutoff for June. So I'm really glad I did it. Another thing I really liked, like just a general thing I like about Welcome to Nightvale books, is how they print. Like, there's no dust jacket. The covers are just like this. I don't know why I love it so much in books, but I wish more books would do that. The Oracle Year I see on, I'm looking at my TBR shelf right now, the Oracle Year does it too, but I enjoy when books have just like naked hardbacks that are the cover, like paperbacks are. I love a good, don't get me wrong, I love a good dust jacket, but they just really get in the way, and I end up taking it off anyway. This is Gallant. I started reading it in that little break I took, and I automatically took the dust jacket off because it gets in the way. So just having this plain cover with that is the cover is really nice. So if more publishers would do this, I would really enjoy it. But that's all I really have to say about Alice Isn't Dead. Everything else I say is a spoiler. I really enjoyed the mystery, the road trip elements, the character development, the character relationship. This is a very, very character-driven story. It's very timely too. Like, it's about hope and love and supporting each other and just being there for one another and actually reaching out for help when you need it, which I think everyone needs to read about nowadays. Of course, the enemy, it's kind of a horror book, so the enemy means something, and it's spelled out fairly clear. Like, Joseph Fink isn't subtle in this book, and I think I really enjoy what he has to say about the society we live in. So be aware of that going in. It's like very helpful, but at the same time it's very cyclical, but that's just the world we live in. So Alice Isn't Dead is the last book that I read this month. I know I said year earlier, but I meant month, so yeah. Those are the books I read for June. We've had a lot of heavy hitters recently. Like, I don't think I've read a bad book in a solid little while, so I'm really happy about that. That's not me jinxing myself, by the way. That's just me saying that I am good at knowing what I like. I'm glad I've hit a little podcast thing that I had got going on. So that's why in July you saw that I have It Devours on here. I have the other 2 script books for Welcome to Nightvale that I may throw in there if I get through the books that I have selected for July. But for now, that's all that I've read for June. What have you read in June? Be sure to tell me down in the comments. Leave a like if you like this. Be sure to subscribe for more content. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching!